Welcome back. The Nigerian Navy has paraded 2 suspected pipeline vandals and sea pirates allegedly responsible for the attacks on Chevron facilities witnessed between May and July 2016 around Warri North local government axis of Delta State. According to the commander, NNS Delta, Commodore Jik Zumvi, the Nigerian Navy ship Delta, being part of the marine component of Operation Delta Safe, arrested the suspects, who he alleged are also deeply involved in pipeline vandalism and sea robbery along the waterways in Warri North. Commodore Jake is assuring the nation that the Nigerian Navy and other security agencies are committed to apprehending those behind all forms of criminal activities in the Niger Delta and in particular Delta State.
The suspects have given us useful information, and I want to assure you that the Nigerian Navy, with the sister services and other security agencies, will sustain this effort at arresting others that are involved in these criminal activities.
I don't know vendors. Now my house are there when they come arrest me. They say 4 guns in my house with some dynamite. I say I never set my eyes on that kind of thing. Since when I accept my amnesty, I never try my hand in such a thing on my life. If they die, let them go inside my room. They search all of my house, my motor, they open and search everywhere. I'm totally innocent.
It's a true allegation. I'm not like it's my uncle. It's my senior brother, General. I find a number that is sending us down to the river to beat the side, our side. They give us arms with dynamite to go and block the pipeline and come back. They give us, you say you want to make cut to Chevron people, then we give us money. So when we now make the call finish, I don't know the people that in now call. So when we make the call finish, you can now call us again, say more come. Say more come. Go give us we 5, say go give us 50,000. Okay.
In the meantime, the General Officer commanding 1 division of the Nigerian Army, Major General Adeni Oyebade, says that no amount of blackmail or attacks against his officers and men by criminal elements will stop the army from discharging its constitutional role of maintaining the unity and security of the nation. The warning is coming on the heels of accusations by the Islamic movement in Nigeria that the army committed extrajudicial killings against their members in Zaria last year. Despite losing 12 soldiers during the military operation in Niger State recently, General Oyebade maintains that the Nigerian army will never compromise its mandate or allow any unlawful group to threaten the nation's territorial integrity. The Kaduna State government has established a new security outfit known as Vigilante Service. The state government hopes that the outfit will assist security agencies in the fight against cattle rustling and other forms of criminality. When inaugurating the board of the service, Governor Nasir El-Rufai explains that the new security outfit will complement the work of the police and other security agencies. The governor also announced the disbandment of all private vigilante groups across the state. The Vigilante Service Board has representations from the Army, Civil Defense Corps, DSS, and traditional rulers.
That working with traditional rulers and local government chairmen, we will get young men and women, as well as even older people of integrity, that will help keep our community safe. And report to law enforcement agencies and liaise with law enforcement agencies in cases of suspicions of crimes being planned or being committed. This is already happening. We have vigilantes all over the place, but they are not organized, they don't have rules, they don't have a hierarchical structure, and many of them are not trained on what to do and how to work with other formal law enforcement agencies. The Vigilance Service Law formalizes that, will create a regime of training, they will have uniform, they will have a structure, they will have an interface with the government and other law enforcement agencies, and I hope that that will improve community policing.
And after a little over 2 years without a case of wild polio virus in Nigeria, the announcement by the Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Adewale, of 2 new cases in Goza and Jere local government areas of Borno State. This has set the country behind by 3 more years in the quest to eradicating the disease. This development underscores the urgency of eliminating the virus in conflict-affected areas such as Nigeria's northeast, where children face dangerous high levels of malnutrition. Our correspondent, Yomi Otaigbe, reports.
This is how close Nigeria was to being certified polio-free until 2 cases of the debilitating wild polio virus resurfaced in 2 local government areas of Borno State, northeast Nigeria, throwing spanner in the works. It's been twists and turns for Nigeria in the country's quest to kick polio out. Take a look at the trends of wild polio virus cases in Nigeria between the year 2000 and 2016. In the year 2000, there were 29 cases, which went up to 58 in 2001, 202 in the year 2002, and 355 in 2003. The controversy over the safety or purpose of the oral polio vaccine led to a boycott of the vaccine in northern Nigeria, and this resulted in a sharp rise in the number of cases, with 792 cases recorded in 2004, 830 in 2005, and the peak of the disease in 2006, with 1,122 children paralyzed by the polio virus.
This vaccine has been used in almost all over the world, more than 10 billion doses. The empirical evidence to say that it is not safe is not there.
With concerted efforts on routine immunization, supplementary immunization days, and increased surveillance, the turning point came in 2014, with only 6 polio cases recorded in the northern part of Nigeria, compared to the 53 recorded in 2013.
There is a coordinated effort by all partners, unlike before where everybody was doing his own thing. There's also on-the-spot decision-making with resources made available.
To deal with the present polio situation, the Federal Ministry of Health, in collaboration with development partners, has directed the deployment of a national emergency team to Borno and neighboring states such as Yobe, Adamawa, and Gombe to rapidly boost immunity of children in the affected areas through immediate and robust polio vaccination campaign. Poliomyelitis is a highly infectious viral disease which mainly affects young children. The virus is transmitted by person to person, spread mainly through a common vehicle such as contaminated water or food, and multiplies in the intestine, from where it can invade the nervous system and can cause paralysis. According to the World Health Organization, there is no cure for polio. It can only be prevented by immunization. Yomi Otaigbe reporting for Channels Television News.
Dr. Adeshina Adega, former head of Immunology and Vaccinology Research Group at the Nigerian Institute of Medical Research, Yaba, in Lagos, now joins me on the news at 10 to take a look at this polio status in Nigeria. Just when Nigeria was smiling, okay, we have finally defeated polio. This sobering news sets Nigeria, not only Nigeria, but indeed Africa, back.
Yeah.
Did you see this coming?
Yes, because of the attitude of the people in the area, especially where it happened. Now, we heard that, pardon me, in the area of liberated areas of Boko Haram. Now, when these occurrences happen in hard-to-reach areas, many vaccinators don't want to go there. And that's where federal government or Minister of Health or field workers must be monitored very well. They have to send people there and monitor people that are vaccinating children around the hard-to-reach area. Why? We have experienced this in Sokoto before. They used to do away with some vaccines and not reaching the area of the children. Maybe they are selected, monitored, I mean, it will be very effective.
So what should neighboring states be doing now within the northeast region, just so that...
They have to collaborate with the neighboring countries in order to prevent spread. That's number one. Number two, the children themselves. We must promote health education, in fact, on nutrition. Because nutrition, protein nutrition, they are the vehicles of the vaccines. Once they are not absent, once the protein nutrition is absent, find that there will be deterioration in the immunity of the children. Number one. Number two, these children must be routinely dewormed, because worm infection do limit the effectiveness of the vaccine. But this has not been taken into consideration. However, the nutrition department of the Ministry of Health or various health facilities must work hand in hand in ensuring that they promote this on. Then lastly, the community where this is happening, they must be involved in the planning and implementation of vaccination. And from there, we have volunteers from the community that will be policing many households that want to prevent their children from being vaccinated.
Dr. Adeshina Adega, I want to thank you so much indeed, former head of immunology and vaccinology research group at the Nigerian Institute of Medical Research in Yaba. I want to thank you so much indeed for talking to us on the news at 10. Let's quickly shift gears now, shall we, as we move on to business news with Anne Owaudo.
Thank you, Gimba. Hello and welcome to Business News. The Central Bank the Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria in charge of economic policy, Mrs. Sarah Alade, has defended the Apex Bank's foreign exchange policy, stressing that it is in the interest of all. Mrs. Alade, who spoke with journalists in Abuja, explained the huge benefits of the policy for socio-economic development.
Is what is best for the economy. The concern, even in this hall among these youth, have been the slide in the Naira. And I have told you, I did answer the question by saying that we also need to ensure that we diversify the economy so that we can earn more dollar, we can have more exports. And this, we are also supporting the efforts of the government in doing. Once we are able to do this, we will then be able to have the kind of interest rates that people want. At this particular time, to be able to get out of the situation we are in, we need to have the decisions that we have taken at the
The soft activity in the Nigerian debt market is expected to reduce as soon as government's economic policies become clearer to investors. Well, this is the view of an investment banker, Mr. Abiodun Sanusi. Mr. Sanusi is optimistic that bonds will normalize as soon as the yields curve gain traction.
So the crowd that we're seeing is on the OMO bill side, on the Treasury bill side. We're waiting for the next auction of the bond program. The bond yields are still between 14.5 to 15%, but clearly, as you all know, if an investor is going to get a yield of 18.5% on a one-year Treasury bill, of course, definitely it would want the higher yield for a longer tenor instrument. So what we are still saying is, clearly the yield curve will normalize in the next couple of months. There are a lot of companies that have also set up bond programs to take advantage of all this capital market solution amongst the other funding structures they normally put in place, as a corporate. So clearly we're going to see, by the time the yield curve normalizes, we'll see a lot of, as I said, companies from the FMCG, from the real estate, telco, and other interesting sectors.
Well, bonds dominated the Nigerian equities market today. It was bearish this week as the key broad index closed 0.65% lower to end the week at 27,246.88, with a market capitalization declining to 9.35 trillion naira. The banking index weighed heavily on the market on Thursday, despite Zenith Bank declaring an interim dividend of 25 kobo per share. However, total volume traded rose by 14.82% to 1.36 billion shares, valued at 10.71 billion naira, and traded in over 16,000 deals. Market breadth was negative, with 18 gainers topped by NPF Microfinance Bank against 36 losers led by CAP. WAPEC Insurance, FBN Holdings and GT Bank collectively accounted for 48.99% of total volume traded during the week. And that ends business news for this week. Thanks a lot for watching. I'm Anne Nwawadu. Back to you, Gimba.
And next on the news at 10, Nigeria's football team, the Dream Team 6, makes it through the semi-finals of the Olympic Games. Starts on Sports News. Join us again.